Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of Commander Analytics. That's right, we're gonna break down this little deck of mine and figure out if there's anything I could do to improve it, what I can improve on, and so on. It's back in action, everybody. So, um, let's get started. So, a lot has happened since in 1 month, actually, in a month and a half, quite honestly, and that was Thunder Junction. Outlaws of Thunder Junction had some solid cards, amazingly enough. And here's the thing: I was there on pre-release weekend, where I do my Commander Pod, and where I get to play where I play Commander at. And I bought a pre-release box, just one pre-release box, and I was so lucky. I was so lucky because I drew this out of the pack. Loot the key to everything. This was so cool. I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh. But what made me go was the fact that it was a beast type, and because of that, I was like, my beast deck. Yes. So, to get you all up to speed, my beast deck was originally mono green. Silvos Rogue Elemental was the commander. It was my second ever commander deck that I built. My first one was Isamaru Konda's Hound, which would then evolve into Sith's Harvest Hand. And my second deck was a beast deck, mono green beast deck, where Silvos was the commander. Eventually, as I started figuring out what I wanted to do and what direction I wanted to take the deck, I started gathering up the materials, the cards needed to do it. But I was looking, but I didn't want to use Silvos anymore because it was an elemental type, and I had primarily beasts with elves being the support in the mono green. So I found Kaheera, and I decided to make Kaheera the commander, which was a pretty good card, very very good card. And so I was able to round up all the cards. I kept it mono green. Only one card that had the color identity white was used, and I believe that was the was it the it was something of convergence, Crown of Convergence. Crown of Convergence was the card that I used, was the only other card that I used because it did what I was looking for it to do, which was play with the top card of your library, reveal as long as the top card of your library is a creature card. Creatures you control that share color with that card get +1/+1. And for 1 green 1 white, put the top card of your library on the bottom of your library, which is not bad. It was pretty good for the deck. But again, its identity is green white, so Kaheera was the only one that could use it. If it was mono green, wow, that would have been amazing. But it was not meant to be. It was not meant to be because I actually found a way more better card, a way more better creature, way more better commander, one that actually fits the how this deck is supposed to run. And I was shocked that they actually made it because I had been looking for legendary beast creatures, and they're not a lot. Quite honestly, there aren't many legendary um, beasts. In fact, there was only ever three legendary beasts. Let's see here. Yeah, 18 legendary beasts. There were only ever 18 legendary beasts, but how many of them were green? That's the problem. In terms of mono green, there weren't really many. There was Anara Volvid Familiar. Mm, Uh, and there was Questing Beast, which I found. It's out in the wild. I found it out in the wild. Questing Beast was the only other mono green creature, legendary. Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Creature damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. Um, Whenever Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. It's not bad. It's not a bad card. Not a bad commander for a mono green beast deck. Um, Then there's Anara Volvid Familiar. As long as it's your turn, commanders you control have indestructible. And then this partner, so you can have 2 commanders at once. That of course they gotta have partner. But unfortunately, at before Luke came into my life, I was having a hard time finding these mono green, so I could do a mono green beast because I wanted to keep it mono green all the way. Honestly, now it is true that with loot, the key to everything, I could still keep it mono green, even though it has blue and red. But there are beasts in red and blue that were just as effective. You know, saying so. I was like, okay, no problem, because it still fits what I'm doing, and I get more variety of beasts to work with. And so the majority of the elves, pretty much all the elves, all but 2 elves got booted out, and I was able to shuffle up, add in a couple of creatures that still fit the whole plan, and threw in as many. And I went and I found as many beasts as I could, red beasts and blue beasts, because the blue beast and the red beast that I had prior to purchasing single cards, they were not good. They were terrible. They were terrible beast cards, and would go, would not help my deck whatsoever. So, yeah, I had to go out and buy some fresh new beasts in blue and red, so that way I could throw them in there and make this a true tribal beast deck, which was fine, which is great, you know. But that also meant that since Kaheera is green-white, I couldn't have Kaheera anymore. Sadly. Very sadly. Very disappointed. Because it's such a good card. I mean, look at this. Each other creature you control that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. But it's okay, because if I want to do another green-white deck, saying with dinosaurs and beasts and cats and nightmares, elementals, with all those, I got Kaheera to do that for me, and that's all fine. That's all well and good. But ultimately, there's very few creatures among multicolored that I can pair up with loot. So there's Luna, Apex of Wishes with Mutate, which nobody, not even myself, still grasp and understand. There's Miglaz Maze Crusher, Phyrexian Beast here. It comes in with oil counters. Interesting. There's the Howling Abomination, Human Beast Warrior, which is crazy. Let's see, it has Trample. As long as you've cast 3 or more spells this turn, that's not going to help. That is most definitely not going to help. Nope. That won't help. And that's pretty much it. In terms of the green, blue, and red combination. Not many options in terms of multicolored golden beasts. So that's pretty much what ended up happening. It started off as a mono green deck, and then it became a tricolor deck. It went from monocolor to dual color to tricolor. So it's a pretty trippy journey this deck has been in. So needless to say, it's a pretty good deck. Oh, wrong window. Sorry about that. It's a pretty good deck. It's a pretty good deck because it really because now now that I got all the pieces together and everything, it's holding up on its own. It went I believe it was it's purposefully designed to be slow. It is designed to be slow. I mean, these are beasts. It's kind of like the an 18-wheeler. It's designed to be slow on acceleration, but it will get very nightmarish if left unchecked. Because when I got all the pieces together, yeah, yeah, you're in hot trouble. You are in hot trouble. So, let's go ahead. I was thinking of skipping the walkthrough because the walkthrough tends to take up a lot of time, but I think I'm gonna have to do the walkthrough because y'all need the context and know what's going on here. So here is the key to everything. Okay, he is green, blue, red. Legendary creature, beast noble, ward, ward 1. Here we go. Ward 1, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of card types among other non-land permanents you control. You may play those cards this turn. So if you know your permanents, your permanents are basically artifact, battle, creature, enchantment, land, and Planeswalker. I believe Planeswalker also counts. It's basically anything that's not instant or sorcery. They just stay out in the field. I believe there's I think I got all 5 of them. Yeah, artifact, battle, creature, enchantment, land, and I think Planeswalker counts as well. But you get to draw that number. You get to exile that number of cards equal to the number of types, permanent types. So if you have an artifact and a creature, and it can't be loot itself. Loot doesn't count towards itself. So if you have a creature, a land, and an enchantment, you get to drop. You get to not non-land, which I'm very shocked. Non-land doesn't count towards that. But if you have an artifact, a creature, and an enchantment, then you exile 3 cards, and then from those 3 cards, you can play them. You can play them normally. Basically, it's like having a second hand. Pretty much. As long as you have the mana available, you can play them all. If it's a land, you could play it, but it still counts as your one per turn, that kind of thing. It's an extraordinarily powerful card. It's a tough little bugger to get rid of spell wise, but because of that ward, for that nice early game thing. But here's the thing about playing loot. He doesn't really you can't really slap him in any deck as a commander. You gotta really have a deck that works exactly the way it says, or has that approach, that style. You don't want to. What you don't want is to play him. He's like the best way I could describe him is. He's like a hand grenade. He's not something you want to waste by throwing out there. You want to time it. And you want to make sure you time your target right. Saying like when you throw it out there, you time the throw, when it gets thrown, and so on. He's a grenade. I think that's the best way to give the analogy. And when you throw him out there at the right time and he explodes, your opponents are in deep trouble. Because he will get you your cards. He will get you to your cards quickly, and the fact that you can play them during the duration of your turn, during the duration of your current turn, is excellent. But you don't want. But you also want to be careful. Let's see here. And what's good is that you can play all your cards. That was the one thing that threw me off with the way it was wording. No, you could play all your cards. You could play instants and sorceries as well. So you gotta pray you don't have like a counter spell that gets lost in there. I do say it's ill-advised to load up your deck with sorceries and instants, with more sorceries and instants than permanents. He really helps more with permanents than anything else. Because if you play sorceries and instants, sorcery and instants have their own timing things of when to be executed or when you want the combo to work or anything. So if you have more sorcery and instants than the permanents, loot is going to hurt you very badly. Especially if you if you have cards like say Counterspell, it's no good to you. Because you can only play the card during your turn, and unless you can be able to use it on an opponent who's trying to stop you, saying like counter their counter spell or something, or if they're doing it during your turn, doing something during your turn, you know what I'm saying, or else it's as good as dead. You want to play cards that you're gonna actually play cards with. So, here's our lands. I got 7 forests. I got 7 forests here, as you can see. And then I have 7 mountains. In terms of basic lands, it's very basic. 7 mountains, and 7 islands. Mm-hmm. Okay. Given that now that I have Thunder Junction, that I've been buying up Outlaws of Thunder Junction, if I want to, I could reduce the number of forests, mountains, and islands by 1 each, and throw in the dual lands in from Thunder Junction and add those to it, the desert lands, with the three combinations for green, blue, and red. So that way I could have some more dual lands to play with and bring out. So that way I could be able to have access to some more strong mana. Got Silver Bluff Bridge, artifact land. Enter the battlefield tap, indestructible. Tap to add blue or red. I would like to get. I don't think I have all three combinations. I think it's the only one that one combination. But I would like to get the artifact lands because of the indestructible. Then there's Temple of Epiphany. Comes to the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1. Add blue or red, which is good. Try to make sure that their utility. I try to make sure that they have a little bit more utility for this deck here. Like Swiftwater Cliffs. It enters tapped. When it enters the battlefield, gain a life, which is not bad. I mean, it's 1 life. It may not seem like much, but it could mean a difference. Tap for blue and red. Temple of Mystery. Enters the battlefield tap. When it enters the battlefield, scry 1, and I get to add green or blue. Hinterland Harbor. Enters the battlefield tapped unless I control a forest or an island. Tap for green or blue. The Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield. As it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, Snarl enters the battlefield tap. A tap for green or blue. And then there's Temple of Abaddon. So I got the three temple combinations. Temple of Abaddon enters the battlefield tap. When Abaddon enters the battlefield, scry 1. Tap for red or green. Rugged Highlands enters the battlefield tap. When it enters the battlefield, gain 1 life. Tap for red or green. Then there's Cinder Glade. Cinder Glade, it's a non-basic land mountain forest. When it enters the battlefield tapped unless I control 2 or more basic lands. Tap for red or green. Then I got Frontier Bivouac. Enters the battlefield tap, and I could tap for green, blue, or red, which is pretty awesome. Command Tower, everyone's favorite staple. Add 1 mana of any color of your commander's color identity. Path of Ancestry enters the battlefield tap. Tap to add 1 mana of any color of your commander's identity, and when the mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. So every single time I summon, I tap this to cast a beast, I'll always be scrying. Always be scrying. Terramorphic Expanse. Tap the expand and sacrifice the expanse. Search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this card, or Evolving Wilds. If I'm going to throw in the desert cards, I'll have to think about that. Because that gives me options. I could either put in the desert cards in exchange for Terramorphic Expanse or Evolving Wilds, or something. Speaking of Evolving Wilds, land tap, sacrifice wilds. Search your library for a basic land card, put it in onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle. So it depends if I want the fetch lands, hold on to the fetch lands, or do something more with it, or replace it. First Beast, Terra Stomper, 3 mana, 3 green, and 3 green. Creature Beast. Terra Stomper can't be counter, trample, 8/8 creature. Nylea's Forerunner, 4 mana and a green. Enchantment creature Beast, trample. Other creatures you control have trample, 5/3. Rampaging Baloths. 4 mana and 2 green creature beast. Trample, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token. 6/6. Nyxborn Behemoth. Nyxborn Behemoth. 10 mana, 2 green, enchantment creature beast. This spell costs X less to cast where X is the total mana value of non-creature enchantments you control. Trample, 1 mana, a green, sacrifice another enchantment. Nyxborn Behemoth gains indestructible until end of turn. 10/10. Krosan Colossus, 6 mana and 3 green, creature beast, morph, 6 mana and 2 green. You may play this face down. May play this card face down as a 2/2 creature for 3 mana. Turn it face up anytime for its morph cost 9/9. It's a 9/9 creature. Krosan Forine, 3 mana and a green, creature cat beast, provoke. When this attacks, you may have target creature defending player controls untap and block it if able. Forine can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. 3/2. Krosan Cloud Scraper, 7 mana, 3 green. Beast Mutant, creature beast mutant. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Krosan Cloud Scraper unless you pay 2 green. Morph to 7 mana and 2 green. 13/13 creature. Garruk's Horde, 5 mana and 2 green. Creature beast, trample, play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast the top card of your library if it's a creature card. Do this only anytime you could cast that creature card. You still pay the spell's cost. 7/7. A 7/7 creature. Spearbreaker Behemoth, 5 mana, 2 green. Creature beast, indestructible. For 1 mana, tap the target creature with power 5 or greater gains indestructible until end of turn. Manglehorn, 2 mana and a green beast. Manglehorn enters the battlefield. You may destroy target artifact. Artifacts your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. Colonian Behemoth, 5 mana, 2 green. Creature beast, shroud. This creature can't be the target of spells or abilities. 9/9. So here's our first non-beast creature, Courser of Krufix, 1 mana, 2 green, enchantment creature, Centaur. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play lands from the top of your library. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. 2/4. Moldiah Channelers, creature, 1 mana, 2 green, creature, elf, druid, shaman. Play with the top card of your library revealed as long as the top card of your library is a creature card. Moldiah Channelers gets +3/+3 as long as the top card of your library is a land card. Moldiah Channelers has tap, add 2 mana of any one color to your mana pool. 2/2. Oracle of Moldiah, 3 mana and a green. Creature, elf, shaman. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play lands from the top of your library. 2/2 creature. Now this one is from Thunder Junction. This is Savvy Trader. 3 mana and a green. Creature, human citizen. When Savvy Trader enters the battlefield, exile target permanent card from your graveyard. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 mana less to cast. 3/3. This is very, very important. For those of you who are aware of my Kaheera deck, you know where this is going. So here's my first my first non-green creature from blue. Visitrix, 6 mana and a blue. Creature beast, 6/6. Very straightforward. Phyrexian Ingester, 6 mana and a blue. Creature beast. Imprint. When Ingester enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-token creature. Ingester gets +X/+Y, where X is the exiled creature card's power and Y is its toughness. I need to look that up because that's such a weird thing. Ingester. Alright, let's go to the view screen and let's look at the Ingester. I want to see if it's still if it's still the same way, or if they eroded it. No, they didn't. Very interesting. It's very interesting that this has a Y, where X is the exile creature's card's power and Y is its toughness. But why the Y? Why isn't it plus X plus X? It's kind of a strange thing they went with. Comment down below, because I would like an explanation on that. I don't remember ever seeing this in the older cards. Well, at least when I was playing back during 5th edition. Because that's a weird thing to have. Jester will get bonuses based on the card's power and toughness in exile. Counters, auras, and equipment it had on before it was exile won't add to those numbers. Abilities that define a creature's power and toughness apply while that card is in exile, but abilities that add or subtract from it don't. For example, the ability of Battle Squadron applies to determine Phyrexian and Jester's power and toughness, but the ability of Werebear doesn't. And Jester's power and toughness are constantly updated if the exiled card's power and or toughness change. If the card in exile isn't a creature card, passed because it was a land that was temporarily a creature while on the battlefield, Phyrexian Jester doesn't get a bonus. But it only happens when it enters the battlefield. Okay, that's interesting. The rulings are very interesting. So there we go. But I picked it only because if I needed to, if I wanted to, I could always, give it, get it, give it a big boost. You know what I mean? There is Mawcore, 3 mana, 2 blue, summon beast, flying. Mawcore, tap. Mawcore. Mawcore deals 1 damage to target creature or player, 3/3. Sage of the Beyond, a non-beast creature here. 5 mana, 2 blue. Creature, spirit, giant. Flying. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 2 less to cast. Foretell. 4 mana and a blue. During your turn, you may pay 2 mana and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its foretell cost. 5/5. This is Thunder Junction precon that I got from Thunder Junction precon. Pretty good card. Here's our red beast. This is the Locholith Titan, 5 mana and 2 red. Creature beast. Whenever Titan becomes blocked, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to target creature. If you do, Titan deals no combat damage this turn, 6/6, which is very interesting here because I can hit a target creature. So like if I get blocked by a 3 power creature, the Titan will survive, but I could be able to hit something else, just like that. But it's not combat damage, so that's a little different. But being able to do 6 damage to another creature if somebody gets blocked, is pretty good. Let's see here. Crested Craghorn, 4 mana and a red, creature beast, haste, provoke, 4/1. Then we have Galvanov. Sounds like a transformer. Galvanov. 3 mana, 2 red, creature beast. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant or sorcery card, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Pretty dang good card, quite honestly. You know what I'm saying? Works with loot very easily. But it also works independent of loot too. So yeah. And this is actually very important too. Because it says at the beginning of your upkeep, you may look at the top card of your library. So if because loot is also during the upkeep, I can do this first, and if it turns out to be a sorcery or an instant, I can get that out of the way before loot jumps in on it. If I can, of course, if it turns out to be Counterspell, well, I'm royally screwed. Electrite, 3 mana, 2 red, summon beast. That's classic. um, Whenever Electrite successfully deals combat damage to defending player, Electrite deals damage equal to its power to each blocking creature. 3/3. That's a pretty nasty thing. It's a good striking card. Here's a nice little bruiser, the trained org. I forgot how I got this. Oh, no! I know I got that from a special box, one of those boxes that had the trained org. Those special box sets back in the day. That's where I got trained org from. I think this one. No, not this one. This one is in 7th edition. The other one has like a battle club. So I have 2 of these. 6 mana in the red. Creature bleeds 6/6. Straightforward. Another bruiser. Here's Tephroderm. 4 mana in a red. Beast. Whenever a creature dealt damage to Tephroderm, Tephroderm deals that much damage to that creature. Whenever a spell deals damage to Tephroderm deals that much damage to that creature's controller. 4/5. So, yeah, you shock it, you're gonna take 2 damage. Lightning bolt it, take 3 damage. Anytime a creature blocks it, take damage. Maze Tail Histrodon, 6 mana and a red. Creature beast. First strike haste, cycling 3, 4/4. It's for 3 mana, discard from your hand, draw a card, basically. Then here's our multicolored creatures. Well, let me start with the beast ones here. Yeah, here we go. Here are our beast creatures. So I got Sagu Mauler, 4 mana, green and a blue, creature beast. Trample, hexproof, morph 3 mana, a green and a blue, 6/6 creature. It's not bad. I mean, the beast, when it comes to morph, the beast only chop down 1 mana. So the morph is not really that much worth the trouble, unless you have something that can reduce the cost. Trigon Predator, 1 mana, green blue, creature beast. Flying, whenever a predator enters deals combat damage to a player, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. Wonderful card. This is a very excellent beast to have. It's a 2/3 creature, but he's got flying, and so you want so that little evasion ability helps, and you could be able to take out your opponent's enchantments or artifacts very easily. And then here's Doc Arlock from Thunder Junction. Doc Arlock, Grizzled Genius for green and a blue. Legendary creature, Bear Druid. Spells you cast from your graveyard or from exile cost 2 less to cast. Plotting cards from your hand onto cost 2 mana less. 2/3 creature. Plotting is a new mechanic introduced in Thunder Junction. Basically, you can exile the card from your hand and you could play it at a later time. Pretty good. It's not a bad thing because it's a good storage. It's a nice little storage card. If you don't want to waste it or anything. Catch players off guard. Hold it for whenever you have your combination, or if you have mass card drawing and you don't want to risk losing, discarding the card, just plot it to maintain your hand size. It's very flexible. It's not a bad card. It's not a bad effect. Now coming to the non-creatures. Garruk's Uprising, 2 mana and a green, enchantment. When Uprising enters the battlefield, you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. And it enters the battlefield. That's what's great about it. That's an ETB. Familiar Ground, 2 mana and a green, enchantment. Each creature you control cannot be blocked by more than 1 creature. It's a great evasion ability. Descendant's Path, 2 mana and a green, enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with a creature you control, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast it, put it on the bottom of your library. A great way to throw a creature out into the field. And it happens at the beginning of your upkeep, which is very, very, very important timing thing here again, because you're dealing with loot. Loot does activates at the beginning of your upkeep. And if I understand correctly, when two effects happen at precisely the same time, you can pick the order. So having two cards activating at the beginning of your upkeep, I could do Descendant's Path first before loot, so that way I don't risk losing a creature and to exile and forced to pay the cost for the creature in exile. So I can get that free drop if needed, or I'll know ahead of time. It's a great card. It's a great combination. Well, I wouldn't say combination, but it's a great thing there. Abundance, 2 mana, 2 green, enchantment. If you withdraw a card, you may instead choose land or non-land and reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card of the chosen kind. Put that card into your hand and put all other cards revealed this way on the bottom of your library in any order. So, this is actually, well, I'll show you, I'll tell you what the combination is, but this is actually a great way to get your land card out faster. In the early stages, you know what I'm saying? Now remember, all cards go to the bottom of your library, which is good because if you want to get that land fast, and this deck is going to want land fast, this is a good card to get it out. Let's see here. Rowan, 2 mana, 2 green, enchantment. Reveal the first card you draw each turn. Whenever you reveal a basic land card, this way, draw a card. So, yep. So remember, it's the first card that gets drawn. You don't get it for multiple cards. So if I draw and it turns out to be a land card, yep, I get to draw a card, another card, which is great. You know what I'm saying? Great way to speed that up. Call of the Wild, 2 mana, 2 green, enchantment. For 2 mana, 2 green, which you can activate as many times as you want, as long as you have the mana. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into play. Otherwise, put it into your graveyard. This is the key. This is the real key to everything. Not loot, but this card here, Call of the Wild. Because I'm playing beasts that are that have very, very, very high costs, and the whole entire point is to pay them for 4. pay 4 to play them. Call of the Wild is the key to everything. Elven Chorus, 3 mana and a green enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color, which is great because this will help cover any need for blue, green, and red mana if I get screwed. Evolutionary Leap, a very excellent enchantment here. 1 mana and a green. Enchantment, green, sacrifice a creature, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So, you know, if you got a creature that you feel is a little too weak at a certain point, you can always sack it, or do one even better, sack loot. You could sack loot for this. Because loot is only 3 mana, so the commander tax, it can absorb the commander tax in the early stages of the game if you want to really speed through and get that creature out. You can also, and you can activate this anytime, which is great. So if loot's going to be too much of a threat to your resources, like, you know, he's going to end up sending your cards to exile prematurely, you can sack loot instead and have Evolutionary Leap cover for you. So it's a very, very, very flexible card. It helps you get rid of loot if loot's going to end up backfiring on you. Kadama's Reach, 2 mana and a green, sorcery, arcane. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, then shuffle. Great land grabbers. Migration Path, 3 mana and a green. Sorcery, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. Cycling 2 mana. Pick your poison. 1 green. Sorcery, choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment, or each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying, which is a great great way to get rid of some cards. And what's great is that it affects all of your opponents, not you. For 1 mana, it's pretty impressive. Great way to get rid of those nuisances. and you could choose whichever one. Basically, this is Green's uh, Green's version of Poor Man's Farewell. It's a poor man's farewell for Green. Um, Nature Spiral, 1 mana and a green sorcery. You turn target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So again, with Evolutionary Leap, I could sacrifice a creature, and I can so I can get another, so I can search, and I can bring the card back with that sacrifice creature with Nature Spiral. Naturalize, best thing ever put during the onslaught block. 1 mana and a green instant, destroy target artifact or enchantment. The disenchant of green. Anytime you play green, I feel like Naturalize should be in decks very easily, especially if you're doing green and white. Having both Naturalize and Disenchant is a great 1-2 punch. Great backup. Fungal Rebirth, 2 mana and a green, instant. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If a creature died this turn, create 2/1/1 green sapperling creature tokens. So you can get yourself a pair of creatures, as well as a card creature retrieval. So, which is pretty good. Here we go. Fog, 1 green, instant. Creatures deal no combat damage that this turn. A little shielding. I pretty much got 4 of the shieldings, 4 cards that do this shielding. Respite, 1 mana and a green, instant. Creatures deal no combat damage this turn. Gain 1 life for each attacking creature. Moment's Peace, 1 mana and a green. Instant, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Flashback, 2 mana and a green. You may play this card from your graveyard for its flashback clause. Then remove it from the game. Exile it from the game. So, and finally, Constant Mists, 1 mana and a green, instant, buyback, sacrifice a land, which you may sacrifice a land in addition to any other cause when you play the spell. If you do, put Constant into your hand instead of your graveyard as part of the spell's effect. Creatures deal no combat damage this turn, and it's a land, so it's pretty much any land. But this is an excellent fog card with the buyback. Got plenty enough lands out there. It's like, okay, I fog you, get a land, remove this land, bring it back to my hand, and just do it over and over again until you can stall out. It becomes a battle of attrition in the end. Red, Aether Sting, 3 mana of red. Enchantment, whenever one of your opponents plays a creature spell, Aether Sting deals 1 damage to that player. So again, because of how slow Loot the Key to Everything is, this beast deck is purposefully slow. I put in a card like Aether Sting, and I'm trying to find other cards similar to Aether Sting, so that way if I can't get my this way, given how slow the deck is, I could at least do some type of damage to my opponents on the interim. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 damage for a commander game, but 1 damage goes a long way. It at least puts a little pressure on. It puts a slight little, little prick, like a reminder that there's something going on over here. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, you could keep dropping all the creatures you want, but you're gonna be taking damage while I'm sitting here waiting to while I'm setting up over here. It's kind of thing. It's a good card. This is a good card for this deck, and I'm gonna find other like-minded cards like this, so that way my opponents, whenever they play creatures, they pay the price for it and make them think carefully. Spell Shock, 2 mana and a red. Enchantment, whenever any player successfully casts a spell, Spell Shock deals 2 damage to him and her. So that's going to affect me as well, Spell Shock. But what's important is that it also affects my opponents. But keep in mind that they're going to be doing spell casting more so than anything else. Spell Shock. Because most of my, most of what I do is enter the battlefield effects. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of spell casting unless it's an emergency. So I won't be affected by the 2 damage. Those that have enter the battlefield effects will bypass spell shock. So I'll be playing cards without having to take damage while my opponents have to cast spells and take damage. However, cards like, say, Loot the Key to Everything, those are going to be considered spell casting. So I will be taking damage for it. But cards like Rowan, I won't be doing taking damage from that. Call of the Wild will is an enter the just automatically puts the card in play because it's already paying for the cost through its two mana 2 green cost. So those type of cards will bypass, and Spell Shock will be an even bigger nuisance for my opponents because I could be dropping creatures for 4 mana without it being a spell casting, while my opponents take 2 damage for casting their spells. So it's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big combination going on in there. Um, here's a Blast from the Past, Rack and Ruin, 2 mana and a red. Destroy instant. Destroy 2 target artifacts, just like that. Just like that. Destroy 2 target artifacts. Stone Rain, 2 mana and a red sorcery. Destroy target land. It might not seem like much, but destroying lands is people can't stand it. I thought about throwing in Jockle Hops, honestly, for a board wipe. I might consider doing that. Throwing in Jockle Hops, but not something that I would depend on. But like when board states get real out of hand, and I need to get the whole thing under control. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, again, this is a very, very slow deck. So Jockle Hops would be to my benefit because then they're busy recovering and I could be on the move. But that's something I'll have to consider very carefully. Levitation, 2 mana and 2 blue. Enchantment, all creatures you control gain flying. Flying beasts. What more can I say? Flying beasts. Just fly. Fly, fly, fly. Soul Barrier, 2 mana and a blue. Enchantment, whenever target opponent successfully casts a summon spell, Soul Barrier deals 2 damage to him or her. That player may pay 2 mana to prevent this damage. So paired up with Spell Shock, it's pretty devastating effect to deal with. Because that's 4 damage coming your way, along with Aether Sting. That's 5 damage every time a card gets played. So again, the whole point is that because I'm playing an extraordinarily and purposeful slow deck, having cards like this along with Spell Shock, Aether Sting, and any other like-minded card I could find where anybody who takes an action gets damage can help me out, because at least this way I'm doing some type of damage until the truck goes into 5th gear, and suddenly you have this Mack truck careening down maximum overdrive over everybody. Let me just take a quick look at the rulings here. A creature spell is any spell with the type creature, even if it has other types such as artifact or enchantment. Older cards of type summon are all are creature spells. So that's just a clarification of what counts as a creature type. What it means. And I understand why, because this is a very, very, very old card. This goes all the way back to 5th edition. Well, actually, Ice Age. This goes all the way back to Ice Age. I'm using the 5th edition card, the 5th edition version. So it's still so because it hasn't been updated, it's still using the term summon is still in there. So it's just being a little bit more clear. They're just clarifying that it's a creature spell, which is understandable. I'm surprised this didn't get reprinted. I could totally see this card getting some play for shock decks. Blue red mana burns. Good old mana burns. Next one, Future Sight, 2 mana 3 blue enchantment. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library. Precognition Field. Enchantment, you may look at the top card of your library. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or sorcery. 3 mana, exile the top card of your library. It's 3 mana and a blue to cast. Counterspell, 2 blue, interrupt. Counter target spell. Yes, I'm saying interrupt. On purpose, interrupt. This is from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I don't know if this is a reprint. I keep forgetting if this is a reprint. But this is Ionize, 1 mana, blue and a red. Instant, counter target spell. Ionize deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. So A quick little damage to my opponent there for along with the counters, not bad. Decimate, 2 mana, red and green. Sorcery, destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, target land. So it's a quick little mini wipe going there, you know, to knock my opponent out. Artifacts, Arcane Signet, 2 mana, artifact, tap. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Commander Sphere, Commander Sphere, 3 mana, artifact, tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity, sacrifice Commander Sphere, draw a card. Venereal's Disc, 4 mana, artifact, the Venereal's Disc enters the battlefield, tap, 1 mana, tap, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Sol Ring, a very important card for this deck because that 2 mana will help with those costs if I have to... especially with the cost for Call of the Wild, but cost for the Beast deck, but I have to play them off the hand. 1 mana, artifact, tap for, and add 2 colorless mana. This one I had to definitely get my hands on. Semblance Anvil, 3 mana, artifact, imprint. When Anvil enters the battlefield, you may exile a non-land card from your hand. Spells you cast that share a card type with the exiled card cost 2 less to cast. So I drop a creature, and creatures that and all my creature cards are 2 less to cast. So it'll help me deal with if my combinations get damaged. As does Urza's Incubator for 3 mana artifact. When Urza's Incubator comes into play, choose a creature type. Creature spells of the chosen type cost 2 less to play. So it helps with the cost. So basically, the way this deck works overall, okay, the way this deck works overall is that I'm supposed to play with my card face up, with the top card of my deck face up, and then I play it, and then I do various things with it. So loot, cards like loot is not the primary focus. He's utility more so than anything else. It's more of a utility card. The ones that are really the ones that's doing the heavy lifting happens to be Garruk's Horde. Garruk's Horde. Okay. Cursor of Krufix. Muldaya Channelers. Here, maybe if I do it this way. Sorry. Maybe if I organize it like this. There we go. Muldaya Channelers. Oracle of Muldaya. Because they let me see the top card of the deck. And it's very important because the enchantments that I'm playing leave me completely blind because the top card of my deck is always face down. And the whole entire idea is that with the card face up, with these cards help, I can be able to play with the enchantments with no problem at all, without losing out on important stuff. Descendant's Path, Abundance, Rowan, Call of the Wild. Elven Chorus comes over here. Put Elven Chorus here. So, just like that. Okay. Here's Evolutionary Leap. There we go. Evolutionary Leap. Let's see. I believe, yeah, that's all of them. Oh, no. Sorry. Here is Future Sight. Future Sight, Precognition Field. Precognition Field. And unfortunately, Crown of Convergence, sadly though, Crown of Convergence is green-white. If it wasn't green-white, it would definitely be in this deck. But the ratio of the cards is perfectly fine. Honestly, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not bad, especially since these guys still give me abilities to do things with the card flipped face up. Precognition field lets me play instant sorcery from the top of the library. Um, excuse me. Future sights let me play the top card of my library, so I get an extra hand. Elven Cores lets me cast creature spells from the top of the library and gives me access to mana. Oracle Die lets me play with the top card of my library revealed. The Channelers gives my creature +3/+3, and if it's a land, I can tap for any mana. Cursor of Crufix lets me play extra mana as well as giving me landfall to gain life, and Garuk's Horde lets me play with the top card revealed. And I could cast it lets me cast the top card if it's a creature card. So there's no so this so having my cards revealed, there's no drawback to it with these seven, and that's fine. I think that there's a 7/5 combination with these seven cards to seven of these to five of Evolutionary Leap, Call of the Wild. Those type of cards is actually pretty good. That's a good ratio. So I'm not putting myself in a position where I get more of Evolutionary Leaps where I'm playing blind from the deck. You know what I'm saying? If I get any one of these cards, they'll always be revealed. So they'll work. They'll be paired up with these five cards: Evolutionary Leap, where it says reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. So if there's a creature card, I just activate this, reveal it, put the card into my hand, and get that extra draw. This one is an even bigger deal. Quite honestly, Call of the Wild, because the whole point is to play those beasts, those very expensive beasts, for only 4 mana. So with any one of these seven cards that let me look at the top of the library or reveal the top card of the library. If I see if it's a beast, then I could be able to do Call of the Wild easily and get that creature onto the field, and it comes into play. It doesn't even tap. That's what makes Call of the Wild so awesome. Same with Rowan. If I want to get that extra card draw, um, saying I'll know that it's a land card and I can get that very easily. What's good about it is that I don't have to reveal the card, but the point is that I could just instantly do it instead of guessing every single time. Same with abundance. If I want to, if I see that my top card is a creature card and I want that land card, I don't have to guess. And same with Descendant's Path, especially being that's at the beginning of the upkeep. If I have loot out and I have say Future Sight out and I got the top card revealed and I see it's a creature and I don't want loot to take it, I got Descendant's Path to bypass to get it out first and then let loot mill the rest. So I get that creature fast. So it's a pretty nifty combination there with these cards, and that's what's good about this. I would like to find a card that'll let me play a card out of exile at will. I don't know if such a thing exists. Like I could play any card out of exile. That's gonna be a tough find. But basically, these 12 cards here is what basically this deck is all about. I reveal the top card of my library, and then I play right off the library because I already know what's at the top of the library, and I'm not doing it blindly and randomly. And that's what makes very important. Loot the key to everything just helps speed things along. It's basically a cheap, a free draw with basically with loot the key to everything. So in a sense, with between loot, these 7 cards that let me play from the top of the hand, I effectively have 3 different types of hands. Basically, I got the top of the deck, I got the exile courtesy of loot, and of course my own hand. So it's like having 3 separate hands to operate with, and this is all just so I can get a card like this out. Instead of spending 7 mana to get a 9/9 creature, I could just spend 4 from Call of the Wild, and bam, now it's a 9/9 creature coming your way. And it gets even more worse if I have Sol Ring. If I have a card like Sol Ring, because it'll reduce. Because then it'll make things a lot cheaper. You know, saying because I don't have to worry about tapping for 4 mana. Just tap one rock and a pair of forests. But that's basically the idea behind this to run. Um, so let's go into let's do some analytics. Let's do some analytics. There we go. So this was formerly Silvos, Rogue Elemental, formerly Kaheera, the Orphan Guard. Now it is Loot, the Key to Everything. So let's get a good look at what my deck is doing now, because so much has changed exponentially from being mono green to now tricolored. We gotta figure out what in the world is going on here. So let's start with the land count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So I'm still running 35 land. I'm not sure if I should up it to 36. I think 35 is fine. I'm kind of might come off like a little cheat, but it's better. But at least with 35 lands, you know, something. I haven't had any land issues. And I think that's why I should keep Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse, since I am playing 35 and I need to get land out quickly. It might be to my benefit, just so that way I can get get those basic lands out when I have the chance. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's see here. Come on. Where are all the creatures? Ah, here we are. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right. So my creature count went from 32 to 30. So that's a drop. So that's a drop of 2 creature cards now. Okay. So that's a big change there. That is definitely a big change. 2 creatures have been removed. Let's see here. Round up all the enchantments. 1, 2. Here we go. Okay. Okay, and I also have enchantment creatures amongst the ranks here, so gotta include that. I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 enchantment creatures. It's very important because enchantments, cards that target enchantments, having enchantment creatures can trigger things. So that's a very important thing to note when it comes to super types. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 enchantments, but 3 of them are creatures. So in terms of natural enchantments, I have 14 amongst the 17 creatures there. Let's see here. Let me just change the size up. There we go. 3 creatures. Okay, 3 of those are creatures. Let's move them back over to here. Okay. Alright. Now, next up are sorcery cards. How many sorceries do we have here? Okay. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sorcery cards. That's an increase from last time. Because I used to have 6, now I have used to have 3, now I have 6. That's a big change. That's pretty big. All right, instance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 instance, so that's an increase of 4. All right, and artifacts. Artifacts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a decrease of 1. I have no miscellaneous, like no planeswalker battles or any other thing. So that's a big change. That is a very big change, all things considered. I'm trying to think here. How big of a change? It is a very big change, quite honestly. Even more so than anything else, because again, loot will cost me instance very easily, because the instance that I have, aside from naturalize, which could get played, let me see here. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cards are in danger of getting killed by loot. Rack and Ruin, Fungal Rebirth, and Naturalize. If they get exiled by loot, I can play them because they target they either destroying creatures or returning permanents. Sorceries are not that big of a problem either, because I could play them to search and destroy. They all can search and destroy, so if they get exiled, I can play them with no problem. Sorry, I'm like, sorry, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm like throwing this down on here. There we go. There we go. So there we go. Okay. So with these 3 here, loot will not affect them. But these instants here, fog, respite, moment's peace, constant miss, ionize, and counterspell. These are my defensive instants, and they're gonna get lost to loot. So there's not much I can really do, because these are very important cards. All of these, the sorceries and the instants that I have in here, because like I said, this deck is very slow, and I can end up getting getting killed fast, very very fast, before I even got a chance to really do anything, quite honestly. Um, there we go. There we go. All right. So I didn't even think to do that. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. Lands. It's time to do check out the mana abilities. What do I have for mana abilities? Last time, when it was Kaheera, I had 35 lands that had mana abilities, 8 creatures, 2 enchantments, and 4 artifacts. So let's see what has changed now. Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds do not have mana abilities. Mana abilities are cards where it's tap, you add a mana, it's a special action, nobody can do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the right to tap for mana. So, Path of Ancestry, Command Tower, Frontier, Bivok. Like, I didn't have this, this is a whole new set of cards here. This was all mono green before. It was nothing but green lands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So there's 33 lands that have mana, that has the mana ability. Let's update that. 33. All right. Creatures. Here are my creatures. How many have the mana ability? It can't be granted mana ability. It's gotta like have it naturally. Let's see here. Green would most likely have it. That was because I had mostly elves. It was 8 elves that did that, but they're primarily gone now. So I think this is the end of the mana dorks. Yeah, the mana dorks are basically gone. We're talking like Llanowar elves, cards like that, mana dorks like that, basically. So that got reduced to 0. So that was a major hit. Among the enchantments, that also took a hit. That was a major hit. That one took as well. Yeah, it only grants creatures. It doesn't have. It's not a mana dork on its own. So yeah, I lost a lot of those key resources. And as for this one here, I only have these 3 here: Sol Ring, Commander Sphere, and Arcane Signet. So the artifacts dropped down by 1. All right. So now basically that means that I'm hinging on multiple things, and that's cards like Urza's Incubator and Semblance Anvil, as well as the combination with Call of the Wild, and with cards like Abundance and Call of the Wild to help me in that department with getting cards dropped. All right, so let's check out the mana curve. This is gonna be one heck of a curve now, because if you notice, back when it was Kaheera, I was playing with a lot of 3 mana creatures, but now that I'm spamming hard on the high costing beasts, that mana curve is going to have a fundamental shift. A crazy fundamental shift. So let's see how this is going to end up looking. First and foremost, let's get the lands out of the way. Okay, let's move the lands up here. Okay, and let's see. Let's start lining up the cards by their costs. Okay, let me put that over here for now. All right, here we go. So we got, here's 1, 3, 2. So we got 1, 2, 3. That's such a cool way these 3 mana dorks do it. The 1, 2, 3. Here's Loot, which costs 3. Savvy Trader, which costs 4. Visitrix is 7. Ingester is 7. 3, 4, 5. That's the Maw-Core. Okay, here's Maw-Core over here. That's 5 mana. 5, 6, 7. That goes here. 5, 6, 7. 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. 4, 5. 6, 7. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Oops, that goes right down here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Let's push this over so we can, because we got 8 here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 10, 11, 12. That goes all the way up here. Right off your screen. 4, 5. 4, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. There we go. So there we go. That didn't take long. All right. So let's put them all together in a single pile and let the counting begin. So I don't have any 8 mana cards. Interesting. So there's gonna be a bit of a gap there. All right. So here we go. 1 mana. 1, 2, 3. So that count changed. That changed. So from it started at 6. Let's see. Last time there was 6. Now there's only 3. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's 3. Then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 2 mana cards, so that's an increase of 2. So that's an increase of 2. Okay. 3 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So that's a decrease. That's a decrease of 3. Okay, that's a decrease of 3. And our commander is under the 3 mana pile here. So let's put our commander color there. There we go. That's our commander among the 3 mana. All right, among the 3 mana. Next up is 4 mana. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we got 13. That's a decrease of 2. Okay, that's a decrease of 2. All right. Next up is 5 mana cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. So that's an increase of 5. So this one got really boosted up. The 5 mana cards went from 2 to 5 now. So so now there are 7 5 mana cards in the mana curve. All right, 6 mana cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, that's it. Sorry, hold on. Hold on. Hold it. Okay, that's it. Just 3. That's 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 3 6-mana cards here. Yeah, 3 6-mana cards. So that's a big drop. That's a big drop. Half of that is gone now. There's only 3 6-mana creatures, 6-mana cards now. So that's a drop of 3. 7-mana cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So, there are now 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. So this is a dramatic increase. 9. Let's see here. By 4 cards. The number of 7-mana cards has increased by 4. So there's now 9 of those. Okay. There's 9 of those. There's no 8-mana card. There is 1 9-mana card, 1 10-mana card, and 1 12-mana card. So there's no 8-mana or 11-mana cards involved here. So that part didn't change. So the mana curve, when has an increase in the valley. The mountain dropped, but the valley is peaking again. This is all on the 7-mana cards, which means that with Call of the Wild in play, that would be how you say, Call of the Wild. That's a 3-mana discount. That's a 3-mana discount, and as well as a 2-mana and 1-mana discount for the 5 and 6 mana cards. So the discounts are very good. But again, I have because I've got alternative ways, not only to get the help of mana, but also to saying not only through lands and artifacts, but through the enchantments. That's pretty much a big thing. Power meter. Let's go to the power meter. Let's see here. Power meter and toughness meter. So let's round up all the creatures. Let's see here. Where are all my creatures at? Okay. Here's a creature. So this deck definitely went through a dramatic change, and it's not just through the colors as well. The mana curve went through a dramatic, very, very dramatic change, most definitely. But the whole entire strategy and tactics became fully fleshed out as a result. This is really big thanks to Loot the Key to Everything, because having a legendary beast, like I said, that's very hard. I mean, there's plenty of legendary beasts, but I mean, finding something like Loot, that was kind of like a miracle kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? To have. I lucked into that so hard. I can't believe it. Oh man, I lucked into that so hard. All right. So let's put these cards to the side, and it's time to figure out their toughness and their power. Let's line that up. So here is 10. This is 13. 9. Here's 6. Here is 3. Let me move that over here. I'm just shuffling this up a bit here. Put 6 up there. Here's the 5. 6. 6. 4. 7. 9. 5. 6. 6. Here's 8. Okay. Here's 8. Here's a 3. Here's a 4. Here's a 3. 3. 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right, those are all 2 powers. All right, let's get them into a pile and count up the power meter and see where we're at. Okay. So, all right, let's scroll down so you can all see it. All right, power meter 1. So 1 power. Loot is the only card that has 1 power. So that is a dramatic drop. That's a dramatic drop. Oh man, that's a dramatic drop. There was I had 6 cards that had 1 power. Now I only have 1 creature with 1 power. So, so much for that. That was probably the elves. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 creatures with 2 power. 6 creatures with 2 power. So that's a drop of drop by 1. Okay. So that dropped by 1. 3 power. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 creatures. So that's an increase of 1. Alright, that's an increase of 1. 4 power. I had no creatures with 4 power. So now I have creatures with 4 power. And that's 1, 2, 3. So that's an increase of 3. Okay. That's an increase of 3. 5 power, I have 1, 2, 3. So that's a dramatic drop from 7. So it went from 7 down to 3 creatures with power 5. 6 creatures with power 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that increased by 2. That's an increase of 2. Creatures with 7 power, only 1. That's Garruk's Horde. That doesn't change. Creatures with 8 power, that's Terra Stomper with 8. That didn't change. Creatures with 9 power, that's the Behemoth and the Colossus. That's 2, so that didn't change. The Nyxborn Behemoth has 10 power. It's the only creature. And 13 power, which is a Frozen Cloud Scraper. That didn't change. So the numbers from 1 through 6 power really changed. That was a big fluctuation. Mass decrease and increase, and a mass increase. So losing 3, losing a whole bunch of low-powered 1s, and in exchange getting 5s and 4s, getting some more 4s, most definitely getting the 4s. That's pretty good. Because that's actually pretty good because that means that I have hitters to work with, some good solid hitters, 4 and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I got 17 creatures that can hit for 4 or higher. That's a pretty good turnaround. So instead of being stuck with, so instead of having creatures that are technical and tactical, now it's leaning into brute force territory, using brute force. So that's gonna be a rough one. Most definitely gonna be. It's like I said, it's definitely an extraordinary slow deck. So let's sort out by toughness now. 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Here's 5. 5. This is a 3. This is 4. This is 4. This one has 1 toughness. This is a 5. Yeah, 5. Here's 4. Okay, there we go. 3 toughness, 3 toughness, whole lot of 3 toughness, 2 toughness, and here's a 4 toughness, here's another 3, here's another 3, 2, and 2. So this is an interesting turn of events here with regards to toughness. Creatures that are very tough. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Here we go. So I have one creature with toughness 1. So the toughness meter, that's a massive drop, another massive drop. 5 creatures that had 1 toughness now reduced to just 1 creature with 1 toughness. 2 toughness. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a drop of 2. So that dropped hard. No, it didn't drop. Well, it did drop, but not hard as 1. 3 toughness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. So now I got 3 more cards that have 3 toughness. That's good for those nice small weenies. When dealing with the weenies. 4 toughness. 1, 2. That doesn't change. That didn't change from the previous deck. 5 toughness. 1, 2, 3. So that's a decrease of 1. That's a decrease of 1. All right. 6 toughness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one is an increase of 1. That increased by 1. So now I got 5 creatures with 6 toughness. 1 creature with 7 toughness. 1 creature with 8 toughness. 2 with 9. 1 with 10 and 1 with 13. So the top part from 7 and up also remain unchanged. So that is a very significant change in the toughness meter. The power and toughness meter with 5 power and with 6 power and less changed dramatically. It was a very dramatic change, especially on the 1 toughness and 1 power side. That was a big steep drop that both of them got. But but those sacrifices, those switching out those cards, increased some of the numbers here. Because over here on the power meter, I had no creatures with 4 power. Now I have 3, and that was at the expense of the 1 power creatures. And I got a big boost on the 3 side with 3 toughness, with 3 more creatures. And again, that was because 1/1 creatures were swapped out. The 1 toughness creatures were swapped out for that. So yeah, this was a dramatic change. This was definitely a dramatic change. It's got it's definitely a pair of valleys if you look at it sideways. And this is actually it's pretty good because I didn't lose the more stronger beasts that were 7 and higher. They all remained the same. Sixes got maybe got an increase of 1. 5 power and 5 toughness creatures didn't change. They remained at 3, but 4 got the biggest help of all. Went from 0 to 3 on the power meter. So that's actually good. Oh, we got ourselves a redemption here. Hold on. We have ourselves a redemption today. Hey, welcome to the show, Lockheed. Welcome. Let's see here. What's going on here? Hey, how you doing? You doing good? Welcome to the show. All right, let's see here. Okay, here we go. I am doing good. Doing some deck analytics. We're almost done here. We're almost done here. But we got a redemption. Japanese vocabulary, everybody. I hope y'all don't mind. Let's see. We have itsumo. Today's word is itsumo. Itsumo. Here we go. This means always. Itsumo means always. There we go. Alright, today's Japanese vocabulary. Itsumo, always. Thank you for the redemption, Lockheed. And please enjoy the show. We're almost done here. So, yeah, so the power and toughness meter really fluctuated a lot. So let's check out the tactical. This is going to be a tough one. This is going to be tough here because in terms of draw cards, there's not many. I don't have cards that say draw one card at all. And everything's being played off the top of the deck. So it's going to be a dramatic shift. I probably have, let's see here. Nope. No. Let's see here. What about you? See, because cards like Future Sight, they're distinct abilities. They don't have the ability to draw a card. They just let me look at the top of the card or play a card off the top. You know what I'm saying? So Commander Sphere is one that lets me draw a card. I'm gonna look at the lands as well. This lets me search, so that's a different category. Garruk's Uprising lets me draw a card, which is good. So I still haven't lost all of them. I just don't have that many of them. It's a big change there. Let's see. Counter. Okay. Let's see. I also gave up Histrodon. I noticed that I dropped the Histrodon from this deck because that let me draw a card as well. But let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. Spells. Nope. Oh yeah, cycling. That's actually important. Cycling is a draw card. It's gotta say draw a card. If it says draw a card, that's what goes on there. So we got cycling. I got a cycling card. I know I have other cycling cards, so that's gotta be included. All right, and over here, let's see. Let's see here. Scry, that's different. That's a different category. If I see cycle lands, and I know I have cycle lands, make sure that they get dropped in there. Oh no, I don't have cycling lands. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have any land that cycles. Huh. Oh, okay. Let me double check and make sure I didn't skip any cycling cards, because cycling counts towards draw a card. Yeah, here it is. Migration Path. I knew I had another one. Let's see. Okay. And let me double check my creatures here. Yep. So it looks like it's a drop, but it's not a terrible drop. So the good news is that it's not a significant drop. I thought it was gonna be a significant drop. Like I dropped all the way down to one card. I'm just only it only dropped down by two cards. Alright, so yeah, it looks like it dropped down by 2 cards. So I have Migration Path with Cycling, Mace Tail, Histrodon with Cycling, Garuk's Uprising, which lets me draw a card, and Commander Sphere, which lets me drop on a sacrifice. So it's a drop of 2 points. So thankfully, it's not significantly bad, but I don't know if it's also a good thing to only have that many draw cards. Search. Um, Alright. So, they gotta have the keyword search. Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse. Anything else here? Let's see. Scry. Nope. 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 Got mostly scries here. So that's gonna definitely be under the top deck category. Let's see here. Nope. Nope. It's gotta say search. That's the key word. Primarily, all of this just says look and or reveal. So this is a look reveal type of deck. So here's Kadama's Reach. Let's see. Next one. Yeah, got another one here. Nope. Look. Return. Target permanent. Counter. Return. Reveal. Creatures. Prevent all damage. Nope. No. 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 Okay. It looks like it's gonna stay the same. It's the same 3. So let's see. Beginning. All right. Let's see here. Shroud. Let's see. No. Yeah, it looks like I'm only gonna have 3 cards that let me search, which is not bad. That means that it stays the same. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, look at the top card. Let's see. Play as long as it's exiled. Destroy. That's a big deal. All right. So that's what. So that's the case here. That's the case here. What about you guys? You just the search ones. You don't have. No, you don't. You don't have search. No. All right. So the search cards remain the same number, the same count number. Kodama's Reach, Terramorphic Expanse, and Evolving Wilds. Those are the 3 cards that have search. That didn't change. So let's check out recovery. These are cards that let me retrieve, send cards back to the hand. Let's see. Yeah, these are cards that that I can retrieve from the graveyard or exile. Anything that was removed that goes back to either my hand or my deck. So it's not this one. Let's see here. And it has to be from exile or graveyard. It cannot be like from the field or elsewhere. Okay. That's recovery. Let's see here. Nope. That's destroy. Damages. Exile the top card. Nope. That's not that. That doesn't come from the graveyard. Neither are these. Nope. No. Nope. Destroy target land. No. Creature. Nope. Okay. Fungal Rebirth. Let's see. Add 1 commander. Nature Spiral. Let's make okay. Destroy target artifact. Creatures deal no combat damage. Nope. Prevent damage. Counter target spell. Sacrifice. Creatures deal no damage. Alright. So it looks like it's going to be the same 2 recover cards that been in this deck from the beginning. Let's see here. Crows and Cloud Scraper. Nope, not him. Nope, not the Behemoth. Let's see. You may cast the top card of your library. It's a creature card. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. No, that's Landfall. Foretell. That's not a recover. So looks like there isn't much in terms of recover. Nope. Nope. Yeah, not the Savvy Trader. Let's see. Matter of fact, you control into the battlefield. Nope, it's not that one. No, loot doesn't recover. So there's only 2 recovery cards, and that's Nature Spiral and Fungal Rebirth. They're the only 2 recover cards, which is fine because there's going to be a lot of card drop. Top deck. So this is basically from the deck, cards that come on from that lets you look at the top of your deck or reveal cards from your deck. So it's got to say look or reveal. Scry is among those, as is Surveil, where you get to look at the cards or reveal a card. That's top decking. Let's see here. And boy, there are a lot. There's a lot. There's going to be a lot. And that's the interesting thing about this deck, because that's what it's all about. Looking at the... it's a top deck, basically. I guess that's the best way to put it. This is a Commander top deck. It's all about... let's see here. We're going looking at the top cards of your deck. That's the way this goes. Creatures. Okay. And then we got some creatures here that do look at the top as well. Let's see here. Here's Garruk's Horde. Nope, not this one. Got another one that does that for me. Let's see here. Spells you cast from anywhere. Indestructible. Deals damage. Courser of Krufix. Nope, that lets me exile creature. Deals 1 damage. Malkor deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, Galvanoth lets me do that. Let's see here. No, not this one or this one. That's the destroy. Here's another one. Play with the top card. Let's see. Here's Oracle Loot. There we go. So, so in the last update, the deck update, there was 11. So how many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have 18 top decking cards now. So I'm not going to mess with the stats here to increase that. I'm just gonna shift this and put 18 as the total number. So top deck has now increased to 18, which is basically the whole source of this deck. All right, so time for the removals. Cards that get sent to the graveyard. That send cards to the graveyard. So let's see here. Let's see. That's my cards. Now this is opponent's cards. Removal cards. Remove opponent's cards from the battlefield to either the graveyard, the exile, the hand, or to the deck. So Let's find the graveyards. Which ones send cards to the graveyards? Opposing cards. Let's see. Nope. 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 Okay. So we could put these to the side. Okay. How about the creatures here? Indestructible. Shroud. Can't be countered. You may have it deal damage equal to its power. So that's damage dealing. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for like instant destruction. Whenever a land enters the battlefield. Nope. That's the cast. Indestructible. Deals damage. Okay. Alright. Exile. Target creature. That's a target. That deals damage. Combat damage. Nope, not this one or this one. This one destroys cards. Let's see, can't be blocked. That one targets cards. Okay. Let's see. Who else? Neverneeral's Disc. Decimate. This one deals damage, gain flying, reduce cost. Target land, deals damage, shield, destroys artifact, counter target spell, destroy target artifact. This is prevent damage, counter spell. There we go. Pick your poison, destroys cards. What else? This is gain life. Yeah, that's okay, that's all they can do. So we'll sit that under here. Well, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So how many cards gets destroy things and send them to the graveyard? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is a big increase of destruction cards. Cards that get sent to the graveyard. Sending cards to the graveyard. It is a big increase, and that's a really big deal. Oh no, exile is separate. Sorry. That's 9 cards that get sent to the graveyard. So in terms of removal, this is pretty good. That's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a major increase from 5 to 9. And it is a big deal because, again, this is a very, very slow deck. So having this many destruction, having 9 cards that can destroy is great. It's great because I'm not going to have any field state until I get the cards I need to execute it. So having destruction cards can help me keep my opponents in check. And I have 1 exile card. When Phyrexian Jester enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-token creature. So I could target any card, not just mine, but my opponent's. So I only have 1 so far. I think that's the only card I have that can exile. Exile my opponent's cards. Because everything else just affects me. Let me just double check here. I'm just double checking. Just to make sure, because if there's any card that instantly destroys or exiles, I don't want to have pass that up. Okay, so exile or sent to the hand or to the deck. There's not many. In here. Let's see. Anything else that can exile? This can't be countered. Yeah, that deals combat damage. That creates creatures. Lets me reduce cost. Gives indestructible. Gives trample. Let's see. This exiles a permanent from my graveyard, not from anybody else's. Okay. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. Alright. Aether Sting. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Destroy target land. There we go. So that's 10. I missed that one. Okay. Parental combat damage. Sorry, I missed Stone Rain. Let's see. That's it, huh? Alright, so I do have 10. It's just I missed Stone Rain. The rest are shield cards. The rest are shielding cards that prevent damage. So yes, again, that was a dramatic increase. This went up to 10 because I have Stone Rain. There we go. All right. Oh my gosh. So there it is. There's this is the state of the deck right now. Here we go. All right. Here we are. Okay. So basically, analytically speaking, like I said, this is a very, very slow deck, purposefully, because the majority of my creatures that I have 17 creatures that are 4 and higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So the whole entire idea is to get these 17 creatures that have 4 power or between 4 and 13 power, get them out with the help of cards like Call of the Wild or Loot. Loot the key to everything. But mostly with Call of the Wild, where everything can where I can get those easy drops on a cheaper cost. In addition to finding other cards. I do think I should try to find more cards like Aether Sting. I think cards like Aether Sting is a big help. Let me get this here. Where's Aether Sting? Aether Sting. I think I should lean into that. So that way, whenever my opponents play cards, they take damage. So cards like Aether Sting and Soul Barrier, cards like these two, Aether Sting and Soul Barrier, helps a lot. Can help a lot. See, because whenever an opponent successfully casts a summon spell with Soul Barrier, they'll take 2 damage unless they pay mana. Or with Aether Sting, they'll take 1 damage, and if they're both out at the same time, then they're looking at 3 damage per casting. Which is pretty powerful. You know, that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's like pay the penalty. I think I should lean into that. I should definitely try and find cards. I know there's Return the Past. Let me take a look at Return the Past again, because I have that, but it's in my Italy commander deck. Let me pull up the view screen. Oh, there we go. Oh. There we are, Scryfall. All right. So let's see here. If I'm to say so, Return to Past, which is in Doctor Who. It's in my Italy deck because I'm playing a lot of damage cards. But if I could find cards similar to like Return to Past, that lets me play cards from the graveyard, and also find cards that let me play from the from exile, that would be a big deal. That would actually help out. So that way, anytime I do loot and the cards get exiled, I don't have to worry about them staying permanently in exile because of loot's ability. And I do have others that can other cards that get sent to the graveyard. Let me see here. Let's see here. I should well, if I type in exile in the text, that might not help. Exile. Let's say enchantments. All right. How many cards do that? Yeah, there's 307 cards that involve the exile. Let's see. Exile, play. Let me try that. It's probably gonna be too specific. I think it's struggling because of the comma, isn't it? Extraordinary Journey. It's legal in Commander. Extraordinary Journey is blue. Excellent. When Extraordinary Journey enters the battlefield, exile up to X target creatures. For each of those cards, its owner may play it for as long as it remains exile. Whenever one or more non-token creatures enter the battlefield, if one or more of them entered from exile or was cast from exile, you draw a card. This ability triggers once per turn. I don't know if this is a... Let's see. Exile up to X target creatures. For each of those cards, its owner may pay it for as long as it remains exiled. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help me out. Play from exile. I may need something more specific. Comment down below, all you on the YouTubes. What cards can let me just play directly from exile? I think there's a card that does that, and it's not in black. Induced Amnesia. No, it's not that one. Lost in Thought. Enchanted creature can't attack or block. No. And cards that let me play directly from the graveyard as well. If I could get those two types of cards, I'd rather have the ones for exile, so that way loot, I can just go to town with loot, and I can be able to play the cards right out of exile. Let's see. That's pretty much it, huh? Web of Inertia. What's this here? At the beginning of combat, on each player's turn, that player may exile a card from their graveyard. That player doesn't creature they control can't attack you this turn. Wow, that's actually a pretty nasty card. Ooh, I like this one. At the beginning of combat, on each opponent's turn, that player may exile a card from their graveyard. But again, I need a card that can let me bring a creature back. Dang. You know what? Alright. There's one place I could go to. EDH Rec. Alright, let's see if EDH Rec can help me out here. Let me pull up Return to Past and see if I can find like-minded card. Flashback for sorcery and instants are all nice and everything, but I don't have enough sorceries and instants to really justify having Return to Past. I got too many permanents, creatures, artifacts, and enchantments. So I need something that is an enchantment. Underworld Breach. Each non-land card in your graveyard has escape. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. You may cast cards from your graveyard for their escape cost at the beginning of the end step sacrifice on the World Breach. That sucks. I only get to use it once. Let me see here. Underworld Breach. Let's see here. Here it is. It's legal in Commander. Let's see here. You may cast cards from your graveyards for their escape cost at the beginning of the end step sacrifice. There's a whole lot of rulings on this one. Wow. If an escape spell resolves, it returns to its owner's graveyard if it's not a permanent spell. If it is a permanent spell, it does and will return to its owner's graveyard if it dies later. Perhaps it will escape again. Good underworld security is so hard to come by these days. Oh my gosh. But that's the problem. At the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Underworld Breach. How do I prevent that? I'm not sure if that's a card that I would want. Here's some similar cards here. Got some creatures. Torrential Gear Hulk enters, may target instant card from your graveyard without paying. If that spell will be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Let's see. Enters the battlefield. Target instant or sorcery card gains flashback until end of turn. But that's until end of turn. Let's see. Yawgmoth's Will. Past in Flames. But it's not like Return to Past. I'm not looking for flashback. I'm looking for exile. Let's see. Let me try one more time. Maybe if I type in from exile. From exile. Maybe that's the keyword I should be looking for. And put that under enchantment. Let's see here. From exile. Let me reduce this down. I got blue. I'm looking for blue, green, and red. So let's start with blue. So there's 22 cards that uses from exile, huh? Oh, and you may cast this card from your graveyard. Disturb. Okay. What's this here? Back from the Brink. Exile a creature card from your graveyard and pays mana cost created. Nope. That's not it. From and exile. Okay, it's looking for... Can I get it specifically? It's not going to give it to me specifically, huh? Wow. I wish it would let me find specifically in that order from exile, rather than just multiple instances. Let's see here. You may have Mirror Hall Mimic into the battlefield as a copy. Disturb 3. No. Here's enchantment. Oh, didn't it give me enchantments? No. Well, that's weird. Why didn't it give me enchantments? From exile, enchantment cards, and it's giving me creatures. I don't understand why. What's this here? When duplicity enters the battlefield, except the top 5 cards of your library face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exile all cards from your hand face down. If you do, put all other cards you own exiled with duplicity into your hand. At the beginning of your end step, discard a card. When you lose control of duplicity, all cards exiled with duplicity into owners' graveyards. That seems pretty intense, but helpful. Induced amnesia. Seriously, why is it only giving me this here? Planeswalker's Mischief. Target opponent reveals a card. If it's an instant, exile it. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Beginning of the next end step, return it. Let's see. Fading 5. Each player returns all play cards. Returns play all cards he or she owns removed from they own exile. Yeah, Precognition Field is what I got. Exile the top card of your library. Shared Fate. Each player may look at cards they exile with Shared Fate, and they may play lands and cast spells from among those. Okay. If a player would draw a card, that player exiles the top card of one of their opponent's libraries face down. Each player may look at cards they exiled with Shared Fate, and they may play lands and cast spells from among those cards. You need to pay the cost of any cards you play from an exile zone. This could be a problem if you don't have the right colors of mana available. Replacing your draws isn't optional. You can't draw cards from your own library, even if all your opponent's libraries are empty. If more than one Shared Fate is on the battlefield, you choose which one replaces each card draw, but you can replace draw only draw once. The cards are exiled, not put into the player's hands. Players can look at and play the exiled cards, but can't do anything else with them. The exiled cards can't be discarded cycle. For example, each Shared Fate tracks only the cards it exiled. If the Shared Fate, which was responsible for a card being exiled, leaves the battlefield, putting another Shared Fate will not allow you to look at. That stinks. Yeah, each player may look at cards to exile with Shared Fate. So if loot, so it's not gonna work with loot. It won't work with loot. That sucks. Yeah, this is very tough to do. This one is most definitely tough to do. Let me see green. We're gonna. Oh wow. Let's see green. Okay, let's see what green can do. Move 2 cards. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move a land card. Let's see here. Exile a creature card. Move a card in your hand. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand if it shares the type of the card. Move this way. This is holistic wisdom. I'm not. Well, maybe. Move a card in your hand from the game. Exile a card from your hand. I don't know about that one. Kami Reborn. Foreign Klex. When Foreign Klex enters the battlefield, search your life for up to 2 forests, put them into the field, then return it to the owner's battlefield. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Teachings of the Kirin. What does that do? Whenever attacks, no, that's not it. Exile 2, put a 1/1 separate creature. That's Night Soil. What's this here? At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 4 cards of your library. That seems a bit. Roll D20. No, thank you. I'm not going through all that. All right. And what about red? Red. I think other than color combinations. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, its controller may exile that many cards from the top of their library. Then they may play those cards until the end of their next turn. Whenever you cast your first instant of sorcery, whenever a player can, let's see here, possibility storm. Whenever a player casts a spell from their hand, that player exiles it. Then exiles cards from the top of their until they exile cards that share. That player may cast that card without paying. Then put all on a bound. That's convoluted. Let's this one. Share the spoils. As the battlefield or opponent loses the game, exile the top card of each player's library during each player's turn. That player may play a land card. And it may spend as though okay. Alright, but that's not helpful. Visions of Phyrexia. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you didn't play a card from exile this turn, create a Power Stone token. Interesting. This is actually an interesting card. But again, it's only going to yeah. Okay. All right. Underworld Breach. Okay, Stolen Strategy. What do you do here? At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library until end of turn. You may cast spells from among those. That's all nice and everything. It can't be cast. Yeah, I mean, I understand why. Urabrask. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, deals with damage. Arrest and returns transformed. Yeah, okay. It's not much. Yeah, that really stinks. I can't avoid. I can't avoid it, huh? Unpredictable cyclone. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. You know. Very unfortunate. I don't think there's any way I can avoid any of that or retrieve cards easily. Play cards out of exile easily. It's not impossible, but I think I need to find the right type of cards. I guess so. Yeah, there we go. So please comment, like, subscribe, follow. I know you want to. And be sure to head on over to Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the link in the description below, along with other links to other merch like t-shirts, buttons, and stickers. And feel free to join me on my live streams. Monday through Thursday at 10 o'clock p.m. on Twitch and Kick, live multi-stream. So that is Loot, the Key to Everything. And that is the analytics, the Dex analytics. So thank you all for joining me. Until the next analytics, I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.